Good morning, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I have to let you know that my morning contemplative time was very much focused around, not unusual for me, compassion. And it was such a beautiful meditation that I had this morning. And I started contemplating about this feeling of compassion and how, there's different degrees of compassion that we can feel too. And I never would have known that. But I have to tell you that experience, time, processing has definitely shown me this, which is such a beautiful experience. So, of course, I came across these quotations that I wanted to share with you. And the first one is by Thomas Aquinas. And this quotation says, "Fear is such a powerful emotion for humans that when we allow it to take us over, it drives compassion right out of our hearts." Big, huh? So again, it says, "Fear is such a powerful emotion for humans that when we allow it to take us over, it drives compassion right out of our hearts." And I can tell you that in my life experience, certainly, or experiences, the most fearful moments of my life have also been inspiring me to be more compassionate. It's so incredible. I have no idea the physics of how that happens, but I can tell you those experiences have really been well processed by me with a conscious decision to do so. And it's so incredible that that fear has grown into this level of compassion that I had no idea I was capable of carrying. And it is a beautiful experience that I would love for you to experience too. And I do believe that working with emotions first, working with the brain and the mind, and then working with spiritual connection is, to me, a very clear way to get to that possible space. But of course, everyone will get to the spaces that they need to get to at the times that they need to get there. And if they choose to, if being the key word, right? And no judgment as to whether someone is ready or not. But if you're ready, I'm here. So the second quotation that I came across is by Rajneesh, and I loved this one too. So this says, "Never misunderstand seriousness for sincerity. Sincerity is very playful, never serious. It is true, authentic, but never serious. Sincerity does not have a long face. It is bubbling with joy, radiating with an inner joyousness." I love that. That is so a good feeling quotation to come across today. And I definitely feel this, that oftentimes when people are moving into whether healthcare in general, whether it's work in general, whatever work people do well, they get very serious about it, right? And there are these long faces. And I can say that oftentimes in the groups that I participate in, I will see serious faces around me and think, why are we so serious? And I love joking. I love laughing. I love joyfulness. So I would love for you to sit for 5 minutes after this video and think, are you getting serious? And I mean serious about your work and doing it well and doing the best that you can in whatever you're doing. It's fantastic. But do it with a smile. Do it with some joy of, you know what? I'm putting my heart into this work. I'm putting my heart into my conversation with my friend. I'm putting my heart into creating a meal. I cleaned my house this morning and I put my heart into it. And it was a joyful experience. So this was a really good awareness for me to have through my morning. I want to finish with one quotation by Eric Hoffer. And this quotation is also on a similar line. This quotation says, "The creative mind is the playful mind. Philosophy is the play and dance of ideas." And some of you know that I've been very drawn into poetry. And I have to tell you that one of the bits of feedback that I got from my online ebook, which is downloadable, let me know if you're interested. But in any case, the most playful, no, interesting comment that I received was someone saying, "Oh, Hanifa, I read through some of your online book and some of it's kind of cheeky." And I have to tell you, it's an interesting word that she used, and I loved it because, yeah, I can say that I have put my heart and soul, and I do feel that it's inspired writing, that I'm doing my poetry right now. And if someone defines it as cheeky, I find that amusing and fun and totally acceptable. So, in that sort of way, I love that idea of being a playful self. So, as serious as your work is, or your life is, or your experience is in any way, keep some playfulness in there because really you will notice that stronger, more vibrant energies will come to you. And with that said, I am going to share a joke with you. And this joke I've shared once before, and I don't feel that my delivery was as good as I would have liked it, but I'd love to try to share it with you again today to hopefully help you leave with a smile today. And so I will share it, and hopefully my delivery will be just a little bit sharper. So there's three nuns that get into a car accident and they all die. It doesn't sound like a joke, does it? Anyways, they all die and they're up at the pearly gates of heaven. And of course, each of them has to go through one question before they get through to heaven. So the oldest nun goes first, and she's asked the question, who is the first man that God created for earth? And she said, that's easy. That's Adam. And he said, you're right. And the pearly gates open and she goes into heaven. The second nun comes up, and she's asked by the the pearly gates. Well, St. Peter will say, she's asked, who was the first companion that God made for Adam on earth? And she said, that's easy. That was Eve. And he said, you're right. And the pearly gates swing open and she goes in. Now, the third nun comes along, and she's the youngest nun, and she's a little bit nervous. And so St. Peter says, okay, what was the first thing that Eve said to Adam when she met him on earth? And this nun says, oh, that's hard. And St. Peter said, you're right. And the pearly gates swung open and she went in. I love that joke. So I hope you got it. I hope you're smiling, and I hope you have a fantastic day ahead. And remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.